Alright, so recently I've been getting pissed off with Habib's constant nagging. He's acting like a Karen. He's telling people how to live their lives. And I think he's suffering from CTE. I've made a video on the whole CTE thing. In this video in specific, I'm going to talk about all the time he's acting like a Karen, like a moral police. I'm not even going to talk about all the crypto scams he's done or his affiliation with the UAE government. This is just in reaction to this guy who is a F1 or like a esports guy. He's like an esports pro. And this is basically Habib telling him his life is a waste of life, etc. I'm just going to play the video and we're going to stop it here and there for breakdown, but just listen to what he has to say.
Can you imagine if you're my brother, I'm gonna break your computer? Because
I wouldn't say no if you break mine.
Okay, Will. Okay, he's one who becomes successful, but how many millions struggle?
Yes.
Same with fighting, except that I'm not defending esports here, but okay, a lot of people fail with esports. What's the consequence? Okay, you wasted some years of your life. The consequence of failing in fighting, which most people do, is you lose your brain, you lose the ability to speak, you get impulsive, you make wrong decisions, like you get permanent brain damage. That's the difference.
How many millions people they spend their 10 years best life? You know, from 17 to 27. They spend their life on computer games.
It's the same in every sport, only one or two make it.
That's right, in every sport, only a few make it. Except in this sport, you don't get brain damage.
But in sport, you have healthy.
Yes.
When you sit, eating.
No, after I made the transition and switched to real racing, the first year was
For
tough.
For example, in gym, you meet people. This is social, you know. You meet people, you know people, you can talk this. When you're sitting and playing computer games, like your mind is changed. Come on, there is no education. Even when you come to the gym, like even if you don't become like a UFC champion, but at least you know people.
I kind of agree with other sports. If you do other sports, I agree. But with fighting, using fighting as an example is just stupid because you get permanent brain damage. You lose the ability to do everything else. Look at what fighters, even pro fighters, do after they retire. They end up working like warehouses, this and that. I'm not hating on it, but it's not the best jobs. I'd rather have like, if my son tries to become an esports guy and he fails after like 2 years, I would rather that than he gets his head blubbered in, week out. He's 28 years old. He can't form a sentence and he's working some shit job. What's the best alternative?
Yeah. But in computer games, come on, I'm a big hater, but please, come on.
Of course he's a big hater. And then we're going to move on to Habib basically telling Umar that reading books is bad for him. Yep, he said that reading books is bad for you. For this you have to read the text, by the way. I'm not going to translate this, so look at the screen.
Ты живешь в Дагестане, зачем тебе сицилийские книги?
Хорошо, можно вопрос?
Если ты хочешь стать мафиозником, да. Но вы же не стремитесь к уже
Saying, like, why are you reading books about like Italy when you live in Dagestan? And Umar is saying, listen, it's a book about a guy who like tries to help the poor. And then this Abu Bakr, he says like maybe he's improving his reading. Right, there's more to this clip that they didn't show in this one, but essentially Umar is defending himself, saying he's trying to broaden his horizons, he's trying to broaden his mind, reading like different books. He said you read this book, he's reading Atomic Habits, and Habib is like, no, don't read books. Books are bad for you. Only fight and smash. It's like you want him to have brain damage and you're trying to not negate it by reading books. Like you have to train your brain as well. Reading books is like the most important thing you can do. Even if you're a fighter, like you broaden your perspective, you're learning new things, you're using your mind instead of just, deleting your mind. And now for an event that I think most people don't know about. And by the way, I could only find this translation for this. It's basically in 2018, a guy was having a concert in Russia. And Habib basically said, if anyone goes to this concert, we're going to be outside and beat you up. If you're a woman and you attend this concert, you're not a woman. Like he had people threatening this guy in the comments. And so essentially he canceled his concert. Now, this is like an AI dub. It's a terrible dub, but it's the only thing I could find in English, so just listen to this.
Cancelled by Khabib Nurmagomedov. How did you react? Well, look, he didn't cancel my concert because they kept calling us and asking us not to cancel the concert until the very end. That's it, but I'll explain to you why we decided not to do it. Because literally 3 days before the concert, I was looking at Instagram, looking at the direct messages, and I didn't understand where so many threats were coming from.
Essentially, 3 days before his concert in Dagestan, he's getting a lot of threats in his DMs, and he doesn't know from what.
And then the residents of Makhachkala, who are Khabib's followers, they started, I don't know what to do, some kind of general events, that if any of the guys go to Creed's concert, we will beat them up there.
If anyone goes to this guy's concert, we will beat them up.
If girls go there, they are not women.
If girls go there, they are not women.
And it all started to gain such a huge resonance that I thought that it was simply unsafe, first of all, for my audience that would come to the concert. But until the last day, they called us from Makhachkala and asked us, please, not to cancel the concert, because...
So he had this concert cancelled because he didn't like a concert happening in Dagestan, essentially. Which is ridiculous. Like, you have to let people do what they want. Most people probably know about this video. I don't know if you have seen it, but this is Khabib paying a homeless guy to do push-ups for money. Which is just disgusting behavior. And then he pulls the money back and says, do more. Like, it's like humiliating this guy. Just laughing, recording, and publishing it to everyone to see. It's just disgusting behavior. Everyone knows it's disgusting. Of course, you know about his whole comments about calling ring girls the most useless people in martial arts, and now they kind of are, but still, like, they're getting paid more than some of the fighters. And there's a reason they're there. They're not there for no reason. If they had no reason to be there, they wouldn't be there. People tune in to watch it because of the ring girls, let's be honest. And that's just how it is. When you scroll channels, you see that, you're going to click on it. The weigh-ins, people click on the weigh-ins sometimes because of the ring girls. And that's just how it is. Like it or dislike it, that's the way it is. It gets more views for the fighters. It gets you more money. It gets you more exposure. And that's just how it is. That's the truth of it. That's why they're there. Yeah, so let me know what you think about Khabib. Is he suffering from CTE? Let me know in the comments below.